Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to show you how I made the star map from the Ahsoka series and how I displayed it. So let's go take a look at it. And if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe because I'm going to show you everything you need to know about Star Wars replicas. All right, now let's go show you how I did it. Now, as soon as I watched that first episode in the Ahsoka series, I knew I had to have that star map in my collection. I just didn't know how. But lucky for us, there are so many talented artists in the Star Wars community, and there's no exception here because Big Fred Customs got to work and immediately digitally sculpted the star map. And he offered it for $8. And it comes with three different styles. You can do the mechanical version, a magnetic version, and a static version. And I decided to do the static version just because I knew I wasn't really going to mess with it. I already had an idea of how I was going to display it, and I knew it was just going to be static. And yeah, that was good enough for me. Now we have an Anycubic Photon Mono X resin printer, and my wife is the one that really just knows how to use that thing. So she went ahead and printed it. It comes in 4 different parts, 3 caps, and then the centerpiece. And it's a beautiful print. Now there are a tiny little bit of cleanup there I had to do with some sandpaper. It probably has to do with my 3D printer, not the print itself. So I went ahead and used 320 grit sandpaper and just kind of brought down some of those little imperfections that were on there, but it came out perfect. I also sanded down the bottom because I wanted it really flush down on that centerpiece. So I went ahead and just made sure it's nice and flat. As you can see, there's a little bit of a gap there still. So I decided to grind it down a little bit more and get it nice and flush. It took a little bit, a little bit of sanding and a little bit of elbow grease to get it nice and flush, but there it is. And that's the look I was going for. I wanted to get the gaps exactly the same size as the ones around in the map. So now let's go down to the painting part. Now, I would suggest if you're going to print it or order it to be printed, print it in black because it's going to make your life so much easier because then you won't have to color in the black lines. So what I used is just some basic gold leaf rub and buff. Although at this point, Rub and Buff should be sponsoring me because I feel like I bring them up on every single customization video that I do. But basically, you're just going to put it on your finger and just rub it on, right? Rub and buff. And I suggest using your bare finger like this just because you do need to put a little bit of pressure on it, a little bit of heat on it so it really sticks, right? It's a wax-based paint, so you definitely need to, make it a little bit warm. You got to buff it out. But as you can see, it comes out beautiful. And when you do it this way, a lot of the black lines are still pretty visible. But of course, you can't avoid getting the rub and buff into the lines. So what I did is just took some black acrylic paint and watered it down just to make sure that it goes into all the little tiny cracks, right? Because look, this print is super, super detailed. So there's all these little fine lines and fine dots that, you want to make sure are, colored black. So what you do is just water it down a little bit to make sure that it goes into all the cracks. And as you can see, immediately all the lines start popping. All the dots start popping out. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of satisfying to see it all come to life. But basically, you're just going to do this. And whenever you need some, little bit more paint inside, sometimes it just won't grab. I just straight up dip it in the paint with less water and then just let it dry for maybe a second or two. and then kind of come back with some wash, dry it off, and you just keep on doing it until you get all of the fine lines colored in. And if you ever mess up, and this is the greatest thing about this, if you ever mess up, all you need to do is just grab a little more rub and buff, put it on your finger, and then just cover up your mistakes and kind of redo it. So it's one of these builds that is super easy and super quick to do. As long as you have a good print, should be good to go. Now, as far as my display, I decided to go with a kind of a rock display or a globe display. You can look on Amazon and find them. Just search, rock display, or like I said, or globe display, and it fits perfect. And I'm gonna link the Amazon link in the description, so if you wanted to purchase one of these, you can. But look at this. I mean, it just came out beautiful. I love this thing. And look at the detail. I mean, again, Big Fred Customs, my hat's off to you, man. I mean, the detail that you put into this sculpt is just beautiful. Look, you can see the whales there, all the little dots, all the little fine lines. And again, the fact that you have three different options, right? You could make the mechanical one if you wanted to, or make kind of a semi-mechanical one with the magnets, or like the static one that I did here. I mean, they all are beautiful, beautiful designs. And I'm just so happy that we have this available to us, right? Now, as most of my custom things, they tend to be placeholders, in case a licensed prop replica company does come out with it in the future. In this case, it would probably have to be EFX Collectibles because they have the license to create replicas. But this is a great placeholder for that if that time comes. And I love this. It really, I mean, it's just beautiful. And if you guys end up doing it, also, tag me. If you post it on Instagram, I want to see how other people do on these. And hopefully this video helped you out as far as painting and weathering. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Keep an eye out for some more. I know next week, we're going to have an exclusive first look at a prop replica that's coming out. So make sure you subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you next time.